If your funding ads are bringing in low cost per leads, but approvals and cash collected really just feel random, almost spontaneous, this is the video that you should be watching because in this video, I'm going to show exactly how we make profitable funding ads that don't just get you cheap leads because that looks cute on a dashboard, but actually predictably brings in approvals. And the reason why I love this system is because it really allows your ads to turn into predictable math. Let's keep going. All right, most of your competitors honestly don't want you to know this. Matter of fact, your successful competitors that are already running ads and cash flowing with it, they will never tell you this because this is how funding ads actually are supposed to work. And a lot of agencies I see don't really want to take the responsibility of the results, so they miss a valuable step. Why listen to me? Well, ever since I dropped out of college, I was going to school for mechanical engineering, honestly, because it's the hardest thing. Ever since I dropped out of college, I've been doing nothing but growing my marketing agency, specifically in the finance niche. We've been working in the finance niche for over 8 years, and as you can see over here, we generated over $40 million for our clients in those 8 years. And there are a couple of screenshots of testimonies and success stories, but if you want to see more of them, just go to my Instagram, the ad poppy, or take a look at our YouTube channel. All the links are going to be in the description. We're just asking. So the real problem that I see when it comes to funding ads is that they're attracting their ads to target just about everybody. And when you make your ads pretty generic, you're going to get in everybody. Facebook's not automatically optimized for the cheapest cost per lead, allowing your ads to go out to everybody. And what ends up happening is this over here. Yeah, you got a cheap cost per lead, but approvals feel spontaneous. You're wasting a whole bunch of time on these sales calls with people only to find out they're not qualified. So, in reality, the issue is not really the ad, it's what happens after the click and is what really brings back and holds back most of these ad campaigns. And this is the reason. Because if you're running just a cheap ad, you're going to target everybody, generic people. And when you target just generic people, what ends up happening because Facebook optimized for the cheapest cost per click is that you get a lot of what I call planners. We don't want planners. Planners are the type of people that hop on a call with you and ask for free information, ask a whole bunch of questions, and overall just waste your time. We want to make sure we're working with only operators, and this is going to require very, very deliberate, specific keywords and characteristics in the copy, in the creatives to be able to attract these people that are a lot more high intent, but the result of it are going to be a higher closing rate. We want to make sure we're not attracting planners that are asking for just free shit. We want to make sure we're attracting operators. I'm talking operators that are actively being held back to scale their business because of the lack of capital. So we're not aiming to just bring in a whole bunch of freaking leads. No. Whole bunch of leads means you have to spend a whole bunch of time on the back end really qualifying these people out to find the spontaneous approval, to find that one person that would be a good fit for your business. Scratch that. Before anybody hops on a call with you, I want to make sure they're all fully qualified. So you have as much of a layup as possible on these phone calls, on these sales calls as possible. So we're not focusing on quantity, we're focusing on quality here. So let me elaborate on this. Is that before they actually hop on a call with you, we need to make sure that these people first qualify. If these people don't qualify with what I call conditional logic is what then uses conversion API to then train the pixel to bring in the more type of people you want to work with. If we don't do this, it does two things. First, it trains the pixel to continue to bring you these cheap leads that are going to bring you spontaneous approvals. Where 1 month you got a great deal, the next month like, I have nothing here. We don't want that. We want a predictable math when it comes to scaling up these campaigns. So you want to make sure you're adding as much friction as possible to these people before they hop on a call with you to ensure that this call will not be a waste of your time. When you do this, you're going to find that yes, the cost per lead, the cost per schedule will increase. But because you're asking specific questions like what's your budget, timeline, intent, it's going to ensure that on the actual call with you, that person's going to actually close. It's a lot more likely that person's going to close on the deal. It's a lot more likely that person's going to show up. It's a lot more likely that person is going to do what you say. It's going to be a better client for your business because they're actively in pain and they need somebody that they can trust and listen to be able to get that funding, to be able to get that capital so they can actually scale up their business, so they can solve the problem that you're offering. It's a way better call, way better client. This is the funnel. It is very simple, guys. It is stupid simple. I always find that simple scales, and this is an exact example of that. Works very, very simple. Click on the ad, they go to the funnel and schedule out a call. On the ad, the creative gets them to read the text convinces them to click on the ad. If you want to be able to have the most significant impact on your campaign in terms of quality, we're probably going to make modifications on optimizations on the ad first. But this is how it works. Click on the ad, they go to a survey or a lead form or a type form or whatever form that can disqualify people. If you're disqualifying people, it does something really amazing to the pixel. It doesn't send data to the pixel if you DQ them. That's the most important part. It like works on ones and zeros. You either train the pixel, you don't train the pixel. And you want to ensure that you audit your funnel to the fact where you're not sending bad data to the pixel. You want to make sure that anybody that's qualified is being sent over to the pixel. So you train the pixel to bring you more of those qualified people. And if you do this right, you're going to find that your closing rate's going to start to increase. You're going to find that the cost per schedule, cost per lead is going to start to decrease because you're constantly feeding this pixel more traffic of the type of people you really want to work with. But funnel system is very simple. Add to a filtering. We want to make sure that we're instantly responding to these people, either calling them up or emails and text messages. The reason being is because the faster you are to be able to respond to that person as soon as it comes in, you're hitting them when they are already in this buying vibe. The better that you're able to hit them in the buying vibe, the easier it is just to close the deal. At the very least, they schedule out a call, have a setter call these people up, and just confirm that appointment. That in itself builds an enormous amount of authenticity because nobody's really doing that stuff. And it's a simple fact of the matter of if you are reaching out to these people quicker, you're a lot more likely to be able to close that person. So add DQ bad leads, bring them in to schedule out a call with you, reach out to those people as soon as possible, and making sure that you're closing and nurturing those people. So this is where we're saying a lot of people don't focus on the right things. You need to make sure, in order to fully take responsibility of the result, you need to make sure that you're tracking what also happens on the back end after the click. That's how you make your ads a lot more consistent. And yes, ads are math. As again, it's why I'm a total freaking geek for this. If you're able to track the numbers, you're really able to see what's holding back the campaign, laser target in there, and really scale it up without thinking emotional. Another thing too, what I love about it is it shows on here, cool, is that when you're able to actually see the numbers behind a campaign, what's really great about that is you're going to be able to pinpoint exactly what's holding it back. So rather than hopping on a call with your team once a week, once every 2 weeks, no, scratch that. That means you're making optimizations every 1 to 2 weeks. No, we make optimizations every day on the hour if we need to, because our KPI sheet clearly shows what's holding back the campaign on a day-to-day, hour-to-hour basis. For example, if your lead quality score starts to drop, all right, we got to maybe check for ad fatigue. Maybe we got to add some more split tests. Maybe there's something that we got to audit on terms of the actual funnel. But without knowing these numbers, most of your decisions will be made emotionally or will be made in a long time span. And the simple fact of the matter is the faster that you're able to get feedback and apply it to your campaign, the faster you make optimizations, and the faster you can really scale up that paying campaign even quicker. So we want to know things over here, like on the background over here is like the dashboard, shows the macro view of the campaign. Over here is our target. These are the numbers that we're trying to hit. For example, you want to hit around $160 per qualified call. If it's too much more than that, we're going to be out of KPIs. We got to fix the messaging on the creative on there. If you start to see that our show rates are dropping, maybe we got to fix the funnel. These are the only numbers that are going to matter to your business here. I always keep things very, very simple. The acquisition, the conversion, and the revenue. So when we are looking at these numbers over here, we're going to be able to pinpoint exactly what's hurting the campaign. So for example, low show up rate, fix the follow-up, audit the funnel. If if you have a low lead quality score over here on the sheet, if you have a low lead quality score on the sheet, maybe you got to refresh the ads because people that launch more on the ad account usually have a higher lead quality score, or the people that have more variations gives the ads more ability to be able to send out the ads to who will more likely convert to it. Things like that. We want to be able to know this numerically so we know exactly and pinpoint exactly what we need to fix in the campaign that's actually holding it back. Low close rate, fix the sale, maybe add some sort of payment financing system. Low revenue, fix the offer, payment friction, whatever it might be. We're able to pinpoint exactly what's holding back the campaign, is what I want to say. The next part of this is that something that I see not a lot of people really paying attention to. Most people think that, yo, I'm just gonna throw money at ads and be good. No, the reason being is because people do judge a book by its cover. If they click on your ad, you better believe they're gonna take a look at your Instagram or your Facebook or your YouTube, wherever that social platform's coming from. So if your social media are missing things like meta verification, it hasn't posted in a month, you don't have any stories, the bio doesn't tell me what you do and the problem that you're solving in proof. All those things really are small fractions that make into this massive, like it's like little puzzle pieces that you're adding onto this puzzle so you can see the full picture. But without it, you can't really see the picture. What I'm saying is that you want to make sure that you have the best chances of closing deals as possible. In order to do so, your Instagram is valuable real estate. Make sure that valuable real estate is optimized so that you have the best chances of closing deals. You don't want to lose an incredible $1 million deal just because you're not meta verified. People don't know if you're legit. You don't want to lose a $500,000 franchising deal just because you haven't posted in a month. You don't want to lose a $250,000 equipment financing deal just because you're only posting AI and you're not really showing the brand behind your company. Ads create attention, profile closes the gap. Great saying over here. Let's keep on going. Think about this, just to keep this very, very simple. Look on the left-hand side over here and look on the right-hand side. If I were to spend $1,000 a day on the profile on the left-hand side over here, how do you think that would convert? And if I were to compare that to the profile on the right-hand side, how do you think that would convert? Look at this. On the left-hand side, this guy is like a rock climber, John Smith. On the right-hand side over here, you clearly know what I do. You see plenty of results. You're able to see my bio over here. Click on here to get started. Proof of results, a little bit of what we do. Hey, we help you hit 100K a month by implementing our ad system, etc. So no amount of money, honestly, is really going to be able to fix a campaign that doesn't show proof of results, doesn't show any brand behind it. Yeah, you are missing out big time. If your profile looks something like this or it's just plain Jane, I'm telling you, you're looking at missing out big time because you better believe people judge a book by its cover. If they're going to click on your ad, you better believe they're going to take a look at your social media. If they schedule out a call with you, you better believe they're going to take a look at your social media. And if you're not optimized right, they're either not going to show up or not schedule or might not even click on your ad. And those are just missed opportunities. So step one is really becoming the expert over here, making sure you're attracting people. This is what we call the 5 point Facebook profile optimization system. Take a look at this. It's the same thing on Facebook and it's the same thing on Instagram. Cover photo, profile picture, intro section, bio link, feature photo. Make sure you have all these. And another thing that I see people kind of miss is that you can actually click on these cover photos and put a description on it. So if you saw before on my profile, click below. This is a little bit blurry, but it says I click below to get started or something, whatever. What I'm saying is that that's valuable real estate. Use that as a way to be able to offer a freebie or have a lead magnet or have a call to action on there. Click my picture to see my calendar link. Click my banner to click on my hop on a call with me. Same thing with Instagram. Same thing with IG. Profile picture, meta verify, what your bio says, your link, story covers, what you post. All this is valuable real estate that you need to leverage. And let's talk a little bit about content distribution. The best forms of content distribution are going to be connection proof value. Connection is what builds authenticity with the person, really gets them encapsulated into your business. Proof is just builds trust, and value also builds trust as well too. Proof future paces people, value really builds that actual trust between the person. Overall, just give yourself the best chances of closing these deals as possible. And then once you have this content really set up right, and people are observing or are watching your content, those people really make the best type of clients for your business because they trust you so much more. They're willing to listen to you a lot more because you show them, hey, if you listen to me, this is what's going to happen to your business. It's going to solve the problem that you're having. Those are the best clients. Those are my favorite clients. And now I hear this a lot. Yo, Blade, what type of content should I really be posting? Yes, you should post a little bit of a mix of both. The reason being is because I do like to show that, hey, My my agency does so well, so successful that I'm able to have this abundant life where I'm hanging out, jet skiing, driving cool cars, hanging out on the beach, etc. And it also relates to people. But overall, what do you think really makes more money? Educational versus entertaining. Educational, attracting people that have a problem that actually need that solving. Entertaining, people just watching. Let me give you the simplest breakdown of this. Let's compare two people that we probably all know. Mr. Beast versus Andrew Tate. Mr. Beast is more entertaining. Andrew Tate is more educational. Despite however you think about these guys, whatever controversial things, I'm not here for that. I'm a marketer. What I'm saying though is that Mr. Beast, let's say his average video makes $1 million. He probably has to put up 800K to be able to make that $1 million, just in terms of just setting everything up and the infrastructure and all the actors and lighting and giving away money, etc. Andrew Tate just got to speak his mind. So it's a lot easier for a person like Andrew Tate to become a lot more profitable than somebody like Mr. Beast, where you had to spend all this money to become entertaining. So on your profile, the most important things that people really need to see is they need to see the problem that you're solving, proof that it actually works, and the next steps. All that really can be done in your bio. So as an example over here, the problem that we're solving. Hey, we help restaurant business owners franchise out at 0% by using financing, by using capital, by using funding, whatever. Plug it into the chat to make it sound nice. That would be like the first line. The second line would be like proof of results. Over $48 million funded for restaurants. And the bottom of that is gonna be a simple call to action. Call to action. Click the link down below, click the link in my bio, or DM me to get started. Nice and simple. Make sure that's consolidated so it's not repeating underneath, because again, valuable real estate. One line at a time. Boom. Nice and simple. Now, a couple upgrades that you can make to your social media today is pinning some of your best posts that really explain how it works for you. Showing off testimonials, showing off funded deals, all that stuff, pin that to the very top so that as soon as somebody hits your box, hits your Instagram, they immediately see the proof of results. Making sure that your bio is optimized like how I said it. That's what people see first. So work top down and treat it as valuable digital real estate. Make sure that you're not repeating the same thing. What I'm saying about that is I see a lot of people with these profiles where it's like it says their name over here. It's like Blade Financial Consultant, and then the category is also financial consultant. Doesn't make any sense. Again, valuable real estate. Change out your name to be Blade Alpha Financial, the category financial consultant. Boom, boom, boom. Keep it valuable. Don't repeat. Don't make sure it's redundant. And the more friction that you have on that overall, the more friction that you have, the more people are going to hesitate, the more likely the people are to not buy. Same thing with your funnel and same thing with your Instagram and your Facebook. If you have things that are repeating, if you have things that are confusing, and it goes as far as listen to Alex Hormozy, where you have things that are 3 syllables, people are like reading. Use less syllables, use a fourth grade of language, make things simple for people. People, I mean, I don't want to be I don't want to be rude or anything, but people are like sheep. People like things easy. People like things simple, simple scales. So decrease the most amount of friction as possible on your funnel and your Instagram and your bio. Make it easier for people to understand, and they'll be a lot more likely to rock with you. This is the ecosystem of the entire funnel. Is ads bring the You run specific ads that attract the type of people that are actually in pain and being held back in their business because of lack of capital. Those people then join your ecosystem and they take a look at your social media, take a look at your Instagram, take a look at your Facebook. They double check your Facebook, double check your Instagram, make sure you're meta verified, posting consistently, a clear offer statement and next steps. That builds the trust. Then they go into the actual funnel. Then they hit the funnel. They take a look at the funnel. They hit the survey, conditional logic, DQs the people that are not good fits, not sending that information to the pixel. People that are good fits go move on to the actual calendar and schedule out a call. And it sends back event data back to the pixel to further teach the pixel to bring more of the type of people you really want to work with. Those people then hop on a call with you, schedule it out, amazing thank you page, automations, emails, and text messages, immediately going out to the people, appointment reminders, respond yes to confirm the appointment, value add campaign, next steps, etc. Common questions that are, a couple of emails that are answering questions, etc. What I will even do to upgrade the system is we have a setter just reach out to the person almost immediately. If they can sell the person right on that call, boom. If not, confirm the appointment at the very least and answer any type of objections or questions that they might have. And then boom, sales calls close, and it's gonna be a lot easier to close these deals because of the entire ecosystem that we build out that handles a lot of the rebuttals for you prior to the actual sale, prior to the actual sales call. Our ads are specifically targeted to not planners, to operators that are actively in pain and are being held back in the business because of lack of capital, making sure that that sales call is a lot easier for you to close. And then the reason why we really track this revenue over here is because this is our funnel over here. If we start to see that that pre-qualification is letting through DQs in, if you start to see that things aren't, excuse me, if you start to see that show up rates are going lower, if you start to see the lead quality score dropping, we're going to be able to figure out exactly where in the funnel that we have an issue or is holding us back and be able to pinpoint, hey, this is what we need to solve this week. This is what we need to solve literally today because it's holding us back from scaling up this campaign. That's why we religiously track and overly track our numbers. This is what it looks like to be able to work with us. When you work with us, we're not just going to take over just your ads. We're not just going to take over your go high level. No, we will take it apart three major things. We take into account your actual ads, your lead quality management system and scorecarding, and your sales system. We want to make sure you have the best chances of closing deals because the more money we make you, the more you end up getting paid. We charge a monthly management fee plus a 10% of ad spend after the initial 90-day stabilization period. In which case, what this looks like is we make sure that you have the best chances of closing deals. If we look into your CRM or your sales system and we're missing any emails or text messages that could contribute to be able to make your campaign more successful, we're going to create that or take what we already have based upon what's already working and import it into your HubSpot sales hub, or something already, Salesforce, Go High Level, ClickFunnels, Active Campaign, whatever it is. This is proprietary to you, but we're going to make sure the best chance of closing deals. So we're going to import those campaigns into your account. The one requirement, the requirement that we do have when we take on new partners is that we don't like to work with new business owners. We don't want to work with people that are just starting to post content or just maybe just starting to get into ads. The reason being is because when it comes to referrals, content, and ads, that mindset is completely different. Referrals, you're closing like 90% of them. But when it comes to ads, you're more so closing like 20, 30% of them. It takes a totally different mindset shift when you're closing with paid ads. And when we work with those type of people, we want to make sure that those people already have that mindset shift. They understand that, yo, it's going to take some scorecarding. We got to understand speed to lead. We got to understand follow-up attempts. We got to understand your sales scripts is going to be a lot more different than how you handle with referrals. Because when it comes to actual dealing with people that have never seen you before until they actually see your ad and just join your ecosystem, yes, we do have all this famous strategy, which is just retargeting, rotating all your best content to these people so you see more of you prior to that call. Yes, we have all that stuff, but it is going to take a little bit more follow-ups than referrals. It is going to take a little bit more of a sales process than when it comes to referrals, maybe a little more objection handling when it comes to referrals. Again, we're going to make sure you have the best chances of closing deals as much of a layup as possible on these calls. We're going to do all that on our ecosystem, including what happens in the thank you page, emails, and text messages. But again, we do want to make sure we're working with people with the adequate mindset when it comes to running with paid ads. Anybody that's already running paid ads or less than $1,000 a month, probably not going to ready. You're probably not ready to work with us. So if this is for you, if you want to take your funding ads to the next level, if you are already doing at least 30, 50K per month in your business and you're already spending some money in ads, but ads feels like you're bringing in spontaneous approvals, I strongly encourage you to reach out to us so we can set up the full system into your business, make sure it's proprietary to you. We can use whatever CRM that you have and make sure that we adopt a consistent and predictable client acquisition system that scales with predictable math, guys. If you want to reach out to me, here's my direct line. Shoot me a text or schedule out a call under fundmoredeals.com/schedule. And guys, spots are limited. The reason being is because we can't work with everybody. I don't want to have 1,000 different businesses that I'm working with. No, I want to have a handful of clients that as we're making them more money, they can pay us more. Handful of clients that we can truly scale up, take them to $1 million a month and pay us handsomely for being able to help them do that. We can't work with everybody because We only have a certain amount of we can't work with everybody because quality does consist on the time that it takes to be able to work with the business. So if we're working with everybody, it just makes it a lot harder. It makes our energy a lot more diluted. For March, we were only able to really take two more partners in. All right, so the time I'm recording this right now, March, you can only take two more partners in. So if you guys seem like this is a good fit for you, if you guys are already spending some money on ads and you guys want to have approvals feel less spontaneous, more consistent, and scale up your campaign analytically based upon predictable math, you know how to reach out to me right here. God bless, guys. Thank you for watching and have a great day. Peace.